I'm Georgia and this is The Sound of Georgia. Today I'm going to be doing a little quick list of people Julie Andrews has worked with on more than one occasion. So these are all from her acting roles of some kind. Some of them are stage, most of them are screen. But the person is not always an actor. We've got some behind the scenes guys on here. Also, series/franchises don't count. So Anne Hathaway and Steve Carell aren't on this list because Princess Diaries and Princess Diaries 2 and Despicable Me and Despicable Me 3 are from franchises. In a similar way, Rex Harrison and Stanley Holloway aren't on this list because the two things they did with Julie were both My Fair Lady, even if this was on opposite sides of the pond. Also, this is in no way a full comprehensive list, as I have said many times before. Julie has like 70 years of stuff worth to wade through, so I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that I've forgotten and or even don't know about. But I'm not feeling the best today, so this is what we've got. So let's go. I'm going to try and stack these in order from most to least, although most of the ones on this list are only two. But anyway, let's go. So the first one on this list is Blake Edwards. She worked with him a total of 9 times, if you're not counting the 2 Pink Panther movies she did where she was uncredited. If you want to count those, they worked together 11 times. Those being Darling Lily, The Tamarind Seed, 10, SOB, Victor Victoria, The Man Who Loved Women, That's Life, the Julie TV series, and Victor Victoria, the stage version, which really isn't a surprise at all. They were married. And during that period of life, she really was focused on her family more than her career, which meant the acting had to work around that and Blake's schedule, which is why they did so many together during those years. So the next one on the list is Henry Mancini, with a total of 8. Those being all the ones I just mentioned, minus the Tamarind Seed. And that's because Henry Mancini scored pretty much all of Blake's stuff. Now, to be fair, Mancini had passed away by 1995 when Victor Victoria went to stage, but a lot of his songs are still in there, so I'm counting it. Next up on the list I have Carol Burnett at 4. Now, 3 of these are the 3 specials she did with Carol. Julie and Carol at Carnegie Hall, Julie and Carol at Lincoln Center, and Julie and Carol together again, and then Julie's Green Room. So while the specials aren't quite the same as most of the other things on this list, since Julie and Carol are besties, or chums as they'd say, I had to put her on here. The next one I've got is Blake's daughter Jennifer Edwards, who appeared with Julie in SOB, The Man Who Loves Women, and That's Life, and again it's because she's Blake's daughter. Next up with a total of 3 is James Garner, who played her leading man in The Americanization of Emily, Victor Victoria, and One Special Night. Now on to all the ones that feature only 2. Since we just talked about James Garner, I think it's only fair to talk about Christopher Plummer next. So as I said, only 2 here and only 2 from now on. So with Chris, it was obviously Sound of Music and On Golden Pond. So the next person is Rachel York. And this one's actually kind of interesting because these are both stage versions, that being Putting It Together and the stage version of Victor Victoria. And while both of these were staged, they both actually have pro shots. So if you want to watch them, you can. And since we talked about Christopher Plummer a moment ago, I think it's only fair to mention the other person from Sound of Music that she worked with 2 times. Or at least the other actress she worked with 2 times. That being Heather Menzies. She played Jerish's little sister in Hawaii. Next up is Max von Sydow, who worked with Julie in both Hawaii and Duet for One. And then the final actor on this list is Rupert Everett, who worked with Julie in, again, Duet for One and the Shrek series. So yeah, he only gets 2. Even though he worked with Julie on 3 separate movies. I can't remember whether Prince Charming is in Shrek Forever After. Either way, Shrek I'm counting as a franchise, so 2. The next 2 are Bob Wise and Saul Chaplin, and I'm going to group them together because they all did the same ones. They were the director and producer respectively for both Sound of Music and Star. Then there was Dorothy Jenkins, who did the costumes for both Sound of Music and Hawaii, and if you watched my video a few weeks back, had a cameo in both of those movies. Then another director we have is Moss Hart, who directed both My Fair Lady and Camelot. And as such, that means Lerner and Loewe get an entry on this list, having written both My Fair Lady and Camelot. And then of course there's Rodgers and Hammerstein, who wrote Cinderella for Julie, and then of course Sound of Music. Now we could just say Richard Rogers, since Hammerstein had died by the time Sound of Music was filming, but since I mentioned Henry Mancini earlier for Victor Victoria, the stage version, and that was after he had passed away, let's count it. Another director on this list would be George Roy Hill, who directed Julie in both Hawaii and Thoroughly Modern Millie. And finally, the stunt double. Again, I went over this in my cameo video because that's kind of what it is. And that is Larry Thomas, who was Julie's stunt double for Sound of Music and appears for roughly 2 seconds in Mary Poppins as the woman who blows a kiss to Bert in Kim Chim Churi. And that's everything I've got for today, guys. I know this was super quick and probably all over the place, but as I said, I'm not feeling so great today, so I needed something just quick. And I know there must be other people that Julie worked with more than once, so maybe I can do another one of these. Stay safe, guys. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my video next time. So long, farewell!